The state will take a little more money out of the paychecks of all California workers starting in the new year. And this is because of a small tax increase that was quietly approved by state officials to add money to the state's disability insurance fund.
KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala joins us live in the studio. So Ashley, what exactly does this mean for people here in the state?
Yeah, Andrea, all California workers pay into the state's disability insurance fund. When the state withholds that money for it, it's on your paycheck as California SDI. State officials quietly decided to increase that by a small amount, but taxpayer advocates say on top of everything you already pay, it could also still add up. The state of California will withhold a little more money from your paycheck in 2025. The state is increasing the state disability insurance rate on worker wages from 1.1% to 1.2%. The small change means an individual or couple that makes $100,000 a year will have a total of about $100 more withheld by the state, or about $8 a month. But the state's Employment Development Department, which oversees the program and raised the tax, did not tell the public. Taxpayer advocacy organization Caltax did.
The SDI is a very important program. It needs a tax to fund it. No question there.
David Klein is the vice president of communications and research for Caltax.
When money is coming out of your paycheck, you need to know.
The EDD said it would post more information about this on its website after we started asking about the increase this week. In a statement, the agency's deputy director said, quote, "The state disability insurance program is funded by workers. In 2025, the amount of benefits an eligible worker can receive will be going up to better support working families so Californians can take time off of work to recover from injury or illness or care for a loved one." Affordability is the top issue for California voters. The speaker has vowed to address the problem.
Californians are deeply anxious. They're anxious about our state's cost of living.
I mean, I think it's really important for people to understand that every California worker is going to see a tax increase starting in just a few weeks here. And this just comes within days of the majority party and their leaders saying, hey, look, we want to reduce costs. And so that doesn't seem to be the trajectory that they're doing. It's already somewhat of a broken promise.
Now, while we're just now hearing about this now, the EDD says the information has been posted to its website since October. But again, they did not issue a public alert or press release about this information that some taxpayers might find important to know.
Yeah, I'd say probably all of them would think this is pretty important information. So who exactly decided to increase the tax and when was that decision made?
Yeah, Nancy Farias, the director of the Employment Development Department, made this change, which state law allows her to do so long as it's a pretty small amount and it's based on a very complicated formula. We don't know when she approved this. A spokesperson for the EDD did not answer this question when we asked.
And Ashley, you had pointed out earlier the timing of this. You know, the cost of everything is going up right now. So to have yet another increase, I think, is what really has riled some people up.
Exactly. That was the top issue in this election. And state leaders have acknowledged that. And that is why, you know, even if this increase were 2 cents a month, I think, voters deserve to know. And so that's why we're trying to bring this to light to you now, a couple of weeks before this all goes into effect.
Okay, great work as usual, Ashley. Thanks.
Thank you.